Hey, I'm State Senator Chuck Purgason from the 33rd District, and I want to thank Senator Schumeyer for introducing, the members of the General Assembly. This was a combined effort a few years ago by the General Assembly. It was not a partisan issue, Republican, Democrat. It didn't matter. They were representing the people that they were sent up here to represent. And they did that for a change. That's refreshing. Now, and before I get started, I want to announce that I'll have a Senate fundraiser here after this is over. Nothing. When you travel the state of Missouri, especially in my area, nothing strikes fear into people as if you stand up and say, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help you." I think that the great thing about state government is we go back in our districts every weekend. We're all back in our districts farming right now, and we understand where the rubber meets the road. We talk to people all day long about the things that concern them, and I think that's what's great about state government is we don't lose that connectability with people back home. We realize what goes on, what works. Because like many of us, we're in the farming industry. Senator Schumeyer farms, I farm, so we know how these programs, that even though they look good on paper, we know how they translate into the real world. I'll give you a little history. Last year, I believe that was signed into law Senate Bill 931. This was this bipartisan effort that passed in the state of Missouri. And just very quickly, the paragraph says, the state of Missouri may support a voluntary identification program. The Department of Agriculture shall not mandate or otherwise force National Animal Identification System premises registration without specific statutory authorization from the Missouri General Assembly. Basically what this does is if the USDA implements a mandatory program, they'll be responsible for enforcement because the Missouri Department of Ag supports a voluntary program. And they cannot go mandatory unless they come to their elected officials across the state of Missouri and we pass legislation giving them the statutory authority. This is what is meant by elected officials making decisions and not unelected bureaucrats. So that was the big reason. And I want to tell you, this was not a piece of legislation that was very controversial once the vote got to happening. In the House, the bill passed 136-9, and the Senate passed 30-1. So it's overwhelmingly support for a voluntary program. I think when you talk about a program, it was like a program that I participated in one time, a gold medal program, where you did certain things to get a value added for your product. The problems with those, with a mandatory program, is anybody that goes to that special effort of raising a quality product loses the incentive to do that under a mandatory system. So, in order for voluntary programs, for value-enhanced programs, need to continue to be voluntary. Because if everyone's in the same program, the incentives to do a quality work and get paid for your product, for a quality product, goes away, and everyone's on the same level playing field. Not to mention the loss of privacy, and then also not to mention that I'm in a commercial quail, pheasant, and Hungarian partridge business. There's no added benefit to this program. Our product stays locally, it's consumed locally, it's sold locally. There's no reason for me to go through a program to access overseas markets. And as I see it, it is no added benefit in me whatsoever. But I want to thank you for coming today and voicing your opinion, and I want to thank the USDA for giving us the opportunity to do that. Thank you.